So when I was 4 years old, I asked my mom to play the violin, and it took some convincing. And so by the time I was 6 years old, I finally told my mom, like, Mom, I really, really do want to play this. And so that's when she actually called the local violin shop and like talked about where I could get lessons. And then so I had my first lesson when I was 6 years old. And I think, I'm not for sure exactly what drew me to the violin, but I do know that I remember my parents taking me to plays or like kind of like these big shows where there's always an orchestra pit, and for some reason I was really drawn to the violin. And I remember my first violin teacher was so passionate about violin, and she brought so much fun to it. I remember we'd play at farmers markets and we'd play like duets. I even had like a fiddle partner growing up, and so she just made the atmosphere of music a really fun environment for me to grow up in. And as I grew older, I kind of realized that this wasn't just a little hobby, and it was something that I could actually turn into like hopefully a future career and actually pursue this. But when I was in the 6th grade, I was living in Texas, and my teacher at that time, he asked me what I wanted to do with music, and that question kind of like planted the seed in my mind that this is something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life and really work towards a future goal in mind. The auditioning process is a very lengthy one, and as musicians, it's really imperative that we start working as a goal towards this. Since we're pretty young, we all know if you know that you're going to major in music, it's something you always have to have on the back of your mind to really work towards a goal. So my senior year, by October, I had all my pieces ready for auditions, and so I had to submit pre-screenings first. And so a lot of the schools wanted you to submit different things, so I had a pretty big repertoire list that I had to prepare. And so once you have your pre-screenings, you send those into the schools. And then if you're called back, then you have to go to a live audition. And so usually you want your pre-screenings to be as like good as you can present yourself, because if you don't get called back, then you don't have a chance. And so people will work really hard on pre-screenings and for the hope to get called back. And in this chance, I did get called back to all the schools I auditioned to, which was a really nice feeling. And so then you go into the live auditions, and you actually have to go to the city that the school's in. Sometimes they come locally, but not too much. So I went to the cities that all the colleges were in, and I had auditions there. And after you do your live audition, that's pretty much it. And it's actually a pretty short amount of time that they have to listen to you at a live. Usually it's only 6 minutes, maybe 8, but it's a very short amount of time for you to showcase what you'd like to show them as an artist. And so then you have to wait the long process, and usually most schools get back at the end of March the results. And so it's probably a 6-month long process from start to end for all the colleges. Music just makes me so happy. Like when I play my violin, it's just one of my happiest moments that I have. Honestly, I can't stop smiling, and I think there's all the cliches, like music is a way of expressing yourself and stuff, but they're so true. And it's one of the things that I really love about music is when you play for an audience, you're giving them like the gift of music, and you're able to connect with people on a different level that you don't have to use words for, and it's just emotions. And you can help to like make people understand things, realize things they don't know. And I have just learned so much through my own playing, what it takes to get to work on something to like get it to a certain level, and like that's stuff that I can use like, in all areas of my life. And there's just moments with music, especially like when you're playing with groups of people, where you can just connect with them, and it's just like pure happiness that comes from sharing music with others. So I ended up choosing to go to the Jacob School of Music, and I'm really excited to continue my studies there. I am going to be studying with the same teacher that I have previously been studying at their pre-college program. And I'm really excited to go there because I think that they really do have one of the best music programs in the country. I know there's so many good ones, but I'm just really excited to study there and continue studying with my same teacher and really work towards a goal that I like, my future goals. I'm also really excited to have a little balance outside of music too, so I can like maybe go running with friends, or like go use the gym, or like do some other like sports stuff like outside of music, and have a few like academic classes. So I'm really excited to work really hard on music. and just focus a ton of time there, and then also enjoy the benefits of having a college super close and super connected both of the schools. So I'm very excited. So I have a lot of goals, I guess you could say, for the future. There's just so much with music that I'd like to do, but I think the main ones for me, I would love to be a professional orchestra. So like, there's so many good ones around the US or even like out of the country too. Like, I don't know, who knows what my future will bring, but I'd love to have a solid like job in a professional orchestra. Maybe freelancing in the beginning while I'm looking for that job. But I'd also like to pursue a solo career because it's something that I really enjoy doing as well. So maybe I'll do professional orchestra with soloing on the side if possible. I think as long as I'm doing music, somehow I'm just gonna be really happy.